What's good, YouTube? Sensational Sincere is here, and I'm back with another Tom Clancy's The Division Vendor Reset video. We're here for April 9th, 2021's Vendor Reset. So let's get right into this and see what we got good for this week. For our first gear items, head over to Camp Hudson. Here the weapons vendor has a compensator with 13% stability, 3% critical hit chance, and 4.50% optimal range. For our next gear items, head over to the meat locker. Here the weapons vendor has a loud vent break with 18% critical hit damage, 6% headshot damage, and 2.50% stability. For our next gear items, head over to the base of operations. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has a prototype performance mod with 5.50% first aid ally heal. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the advanced weaponry vendor, and here we got a custom P416G3. Next, here we got a double barrel shotgun. Also here we got an extended magazine with 119% magazine size, 3% critical hit chance, and 4.60% rate of fire. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the special equipment vendor, and here we got a Cassidy. Next here we got a Liberator. Also here we got a tactical mask with the talent refreshed on there. Next here we got an operator pack with the talent specialized on there. Also here we got some spec op gloves with the talent savaged on there. Next here we got an extended magazine with 120.50% magazine size, 4% reload speed, and 4% critical hit damage. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the special blueprints vendor, and here we got a classic M44 carbine blueprint with a gear score of 256. Next here we got a firearm mask blueprint with a gear score of 256. Also here we got electronics vest blueprint with a gear score of 256. Also here we got a quick release magazine blueprint with a power level 34. And also here we got a flash hider blueprint with a power level 34. For our next items, head over to the cavern. Here the gear vendor has a prototype performance mod with 2% pulse critical hit chance. For our next gear items, head over to Camp Clinton. Here the special equipment vendor has a Cassidy. Next here we got a military G36. Next here we got a tactical SASG 12K. Next here we got a SRSA1. Next here we got a tactical mask with the talent enduring on there. Also here we got a gunslinger vest with the talent rapid. Next here we got some gunslinger gloves with the talent savage. Also here we got a prototype performance mod with 4.50% support station healing speed. For our next gear items, we're still at Camp Clinton. Head over to the special blueprints vendor, and here we got a snub rhino blueprint with a gear score of 256. Also here we got a firearms glove blueprint with a gear score of 256. For our next gear items, head over to Autumn's Hope. Here the gear vendor has a prototype performance mod with 3.50% sticky bomb damage. For our next gear items, head over to Madison Stand. Here the gear vendor has a tactical mask with the talent Tenacious on there. For our next gear items, head over to the Southpaw. Here the gear vendor has an operator pack with the talent Inventive on there. For our next items, head over to the Crypt. Here the weapons vendor has an enhanced ACRE. For our next gear items, head over to West 31st Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a burst fire MP5 A4 if you like to run this style weapon. Next here we got an operator vest with the talent Reckless. For our next gear items, head over to West 39th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a heavy magazine spring with 11.50% magazine size, 4.50% reload speed, and 10% rate of fire. For our next gear items, head over to West 42nd Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a prototype performance mod with 5% sticky bomb explosion radius. For our next gear items, head over to East 64th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone gear mod vendor has a prototype performance mod with 7% seeker mine explosion radius. For our next gear items, head over to East 58th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has a spec ops mask with the talent enduring. And also here we got an operator pack with the talent Reckless. For our next gear items, head over to East 53rd Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a tactical MK16. Next here we got an operator vest with the talent Reckless. Also here we got a prototype stamina mod with 265 stamina and 3% skill haste. For our next gear items, head over to East 40th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a prototype firearms mod with 264 firearms and 1% critical hit chance. Then also here we got a VX1 scope times 12 with 17.50% headshot damage, 5% optimal range, and 3% critical hit chance. For our next gear items, head over to East 31st Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a spec ops pack with the talent Inventive. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 2% pulse critical hit damage. For our next gear items, head over to the 5th Ave checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a black market M60E6. Next here we got a Spec Ops armor with the talent Rapid. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 6% first aid self-heal. For our next gear items, head over to DZ2 safe room. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a tactical mask with the talent Tenacious. Also here we got a gunslinger vest with the talent Rapid. Next here we got a Spec Ops pack with the talent Relentless. For our next gear items, head over to DZ3 safe room. Here the Dark Zone vendor has the classic RPK 74. For our next gear items, head over to DZ5 safe room. Here the Dark Zone weapon mod vendor has a heavy magazine spring with 4% critical hit damage, 2.50% critical hit chance, and 10.70% rate of fire. For our next gear items, head over to DZ8 safe room. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has an operator mask with the talent Rehabilitated. Next here we got a gunslinger vest with the talent Reckless. Also here we got an operator pack with the talent Specialized. For our next gear items, head over to DZ9 safe room. Here the Dark Zone weapon mod vendor has a reflex sight with 7% critical hit chance, 4.50% optimal range, and 4% critical hit damage. Alright everybody, that's it for our Tom Clancy's The Division vendor reset video for April 9th, 2021's vendor reset. Hope everybody who tuned into it found them something that they needed. Smash on that sub and like button, y'all appreciate that support, and I will see y'all with the next one everybody. Take care, peace.